Welcome back to Ye Old Foundry. Sand Rammer here. I'm going to start this off by showing the change that I made on my on my flasks. Now remember, Tobho Mojo? I don't know. Anyway, he showed me a way, or showed everybody a way to make some pins for the flask that allows you to lift and lower the cope in such a way as not to mess up whatever might be hanging from the inside of whatever sand might be hanging. For instance, the inside of this bell would have been hanging kind of like that, but the problem was I didn't have this before. All I had was this. And what was going on, let me stick you right there. What was going on is when I was lifting this up, it would do all this number. Okay? It was not going to be movable this way or that way. I mean, back and forth horizontally. You wouldn't have moved this way or that way. But it was tippable, and that hurt the attempt at trying to raise the cope without messing up what is in the cope, whatever might be in the cope. So, knowing several different designs that were being used in flasks, the easiest design change in this was to make another one of these, but have it a little bit above so that it can't hardly do any of that. Like this, it was this much was being able to be moved before I put these extras on there. So basically all I did is got a couple of pieces of aluminum angle iron or aluminum angle and just made another hole and then made a gap, made it to where it was not just a hole. Because if you had a hole and a hole, it might be a little bit difficult to try and line those all up. So giving myself a little bit of leeway, I made the hole and then I cut a slot in there so that putting it back together, you still have the capability of lifting smoothly with your fingers, but also this is not going to move around so much that you're going to make anything that might be hanging in the cope hit the drag somewhere. Okay, so Tobho Moto, I don't know. You guys have got to get better names. Sand Rammer, easy to pronounce. Okay, so that's the change I made in the drag. I mean the cope. Here's the drag, there's the cope. So when I take the cope off of the drag, it goes up nice and smooth. It doesn't do this number anymore. It's just pick it up easy, and then once you clear, I mean almost anything's going to be clear once you get to the top of the pin, okay? So now I have a few little projects to make, and I'm going to start on the first one right now. So let me reposition you. Going to put you up here, and hopefully we'll have a good position for you. Okay, I'm going to, well, wait a minute, where is it? There it is. Okay, that's the bottom board. Put the bottom board down first. Now I can get that ready for ramming up the drag. Okay. And the first thing I want to make is this Molder Iron Men of the Navy plaque. So I've got to lift this up first, put this down, and then the holes in the side there will allow this to sit nice and smoothly. Okay, I've got it marked. Okay, I've got a barrier at least ½ an inch all the way around, just for safety's sake. And why do I have a feeling that I don't have you aimed very well? Let's just tilt you just up a little bit, because this is kind of a fisheye lens, so a wide lens, you'll see most everything, but I do want to make sure that you are able to see most everything. Okay. Okay, first here's my parting powder. Don't want any of this to be sticking, the sand to be sticking to any of it. And I'll get that there. I'll open up the barrel. Putting enough sand through the riddle for it to be a goodly amount of facing sand. Okay. And don't forget, on the very first part of the facing sand, it's nice and fine. It's fine sand. So you use your little fingers to do the initial ramp, so that your fingers can push the sand in all the small places. And of course, what with me leaving all these different finger impressions all over, I'm not going to worry too much about the next layer of sand, you know, sticking. Okay, that. I'm going to put you on pause right now because I've got to plug in and energize the LP Air and get the hose over here so I can use my rammer. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, now the LP Air is ready to go. Now the rammer is ready to go. Scribe here and break this up a little bit so the next layer can adhere to this layer instead of falling out. Don't forget, the odds are very good that because of the amount of air I'm using, the compressor is going to turn on, so don't be shocked if a bad noise, making lots of noise, attacks us. Someday I'm going to buy me a bigger air compressor that'll take less time to fill and make less noise. Okay, so I've got the drag done. What are you going to do? You got to vent the whole drag. Now, very unlikely that I'm going to hit the pattern anywhere. So I'm doing as many as I can. Okay. Okay, going to be using the 3-clamp method of turning this over. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you'll know what that's about. And what I gotta do though, is I also gotta get all this excess sand, put it back in the container so that it doesn't all dry out on me and I can utilize it. If it dries out on me, it won't stick. All right. Okay. Now I can turn this over. Now I've got to turn sideways. Now I've got to switch these clamps. All right, let's get this right. See, the deal is when you're turning these over, you don't want your patterns to move at all. Not at all in the drag. So you make every effort to keep it from happening. If they move in the drag, at the very least you'll have is a double print inside your mold cavity. Okay. Okay, that's ready. Okay, this is the pattern, right? So now we got to make the the cope to where it'll fit nicely for the drag. What I'm going to be forming here is the back side. The plaque is over here. The back side of the plaque. This is going to be, replicating the pattern that you see here. All the wooden striations and everything. It's not going to be absolutely smooth, but it'll be smooth enough that it won't mess up the plaque. Okay, what am I doing? Oh. I think you'll see down here, see if I can get this. Right here I made a mark. Now that's where the sprue has to go to go and discharge its molten metal into the splash basin, and after that it goes to the runner and the ingates. So in order for me so that I can make sure I hit that mark, I'm going to make a mark here. All right, got to do it from this angle. Okay, so I got 2 points. That tells me where the sprue is supposed to go. All right, and here we go. Back to work. Little parting powder. You know why by now. Get the riddle. Now up here, we're not going to be, using my fingers to settle it all in place, like little tiny rammers, because we're not really copying any of the patterns. Details. I still wanted to get the sand very smooth against this board, so that the back of the pattern, or rather the back of the plaque that I'm making, is going to be as smooth as possible. Okay. All right, spreading it out. Okay. Keep getting this sneaking suspicion that I haven't got this camera aimed right. So that'll be a little better, I suppose. But what we're going to do, we didn't have a air compressor in the foundry. We just had LP air lines that was connected to the ship's LP air compressor. Okay, did I keep forgetting if I did scratch? I want to scratch it, make sure. I'm gonna have to start making some more sand. I certainly have enough for a cope. I mean, or rather one flask worth of sand, 12 by 12. I certainly have enough of that. But I would like to make more than just one item to pour. I guess I'll just have to make do with what I have just now. Okay, let's see if I can get this stuff up. Okie dokie. That's all rammed up. Set that there. Now this is a pneumatic vibrator. And what it's used for is to you know how you need to wrap you know, your patterns to get them out of the sand. Well, seeing as how this is on a board, I can use the vibrator to manufacture the clearances I need to pull the pattern out with minimal amount of problems. So here we go with some more noise. Hey, noisy. Okay. Yay. It did that again. Nice. I'm going to have to turn this boy around if I'm going to do any work. Okay, it's a nice little splash basin. Okay.
Trying to get this fairly, not deep, but so plenty of the
metal will be able to go right into that. Okay, now I know I'm going to have to put that over here, so let's get this junk out of the way. See if I can smooth this stuff down. Make sure that none of the, well, at least the minimum amount of sand will get in. The idea is not to have any sand get pushed by the aluminum. So it's good to take your time and get this part done nicely. Okay. Got all them vents in, got the pouring basin and sprue in. Making sure that I don't take things apart before it's time. Okay. Thankfully nothing is in here that's hanging. Okay, let's smooth this one out too. Okay. Get rid of all the sand that's on your match board.
Well, the plaque came out very nicely. Just the rest of that didn't, but no biggie. I can cut all of that off. Nice, 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 nice. Don't see anything. I didn't give myself very much, what do you call, didn't do very good on the runners. Thought I gave myself at least 5 degrees of taper. At least the pouring basin, or splash basin I mean, came out good. Really don't like that loose stuff. Like right here. Don't like that stuff being loose. Because if it's loose, it just might get pushed into the mold cavity and mess that up. Okay, well, I got the pattern is done. I've got a little repairing to do in here, some backdraft in here, so I'll have to fix that. Keep these, man, I've got quite the lip right here. No wonder they pulled on them. Thankfully this portion isn't so bad, and that came out right. It came out good. So this is out here. I'm going to be sitting out here for a little while, letting it dry out. Same thing for this over here. There's my pouring basin, there's my channel, and there's a down sprue. And then you look through the down sprue and there's the entranceway here, or exit from the down sprue, and then it gets pushed, or rather it empties into the splash basin, because it does splash, comes up, follows that, and into that, like that. Should work okay. All right, the next thing is that I've got to pour this, but I won't put it back together until it's nice and dry. It feels like it won't move on me if I touch it. Then I'll just have to clean things up a little bit better and put it together and put it out near where the furnace is going to be. And I think that's going to be tomorrow morning. What with it being Saturday, I can get up early enough and not wake up the wife, get the furnace going, and pour this one. This is going to be for a fella that works in this area. He's got a real good business. If you're a retired Navy or a person who was in the Navy and you want any plaques, I think it's HT1 Davis or something of the sort. I'll get back on and give you the right name and not address, but the name and Facebook account. I see him a lot. He does a darn good job on making all the different rates in the Navy. He didn't have this one, so I was going to make it and give it to him for his. I think he was a molder for a short time too, but everybody had to go to another rate when the molder rating was disestablished, and thankfully I was already retired before that ever happened. Okay, well, I'll get this edited and put online so that you can see how I did that. And the next thing you'll see, the next video is going to be pouring it. Okay, so liberty call to all you guys and gals, and pass the word about this site so the backyard melters, backyard foundermen and molders can make stuff nice and solid, real pretty, and safely done. Okay, see you later.